me crazy, but you the one that's fucking crazy. And it's time for me to run. Yeah, it's time for me to go. I won't stick around for you.
Hello, hello, hello. What's up? We've changed things around a bit here. Oh, wait. So we've changed things a little bit around here. As you can see, we have a new addition to the backdrop. I believe Fermi has joined us on the backdrop. Fermi is our Prusa Mini, as well as Pulsar, or Pulsa, sorry. And the other Prusa Mini is off on the table. I will be going to a cam view in a moment where you can actually watch the Prusa wire printing. I have been absolutely just taken aback with the Prusa wire in a good way. Okay, so as you all know, I don't like to stream the actual the software process of doing like the big tuning aspects, like actually getting everything right, is boring as hell. Because I'm sitting here staring at a screen in silence, broiling, fuming hatred of software in general. So it's not fun to watch. And I get very frustrated with Clipper. Just ask anyone on the Positron team. Me no likey when software no worky. So I spared you guys all of that. But here, I'll actually bring in the camera view here, just so you can actually see what it looks like. As I also have to prepare this because we're going to be changing up the cameras around a bit in the future here. Right. Right. The way I'm ingesting video makes it very difficult. Give me a second here. What does that look like? Okay, that's close to what I want. Let me make modification real quick. So we close out the projector there. Let me just add, where's this, the scene, and that. All right, now we're gonna drop that under. now I just... Where's... Create output projector. Cool. Full screen that. Now, unfull screen, then toggle full screen. Oh, I broke it. Bro, what? Okay, I think I got it. Anyway, so now if I hop over to the live scene, voila! Yeah, so Prusa Wire is printing. And let me show you what's been printing. So, the Prusa Wire has been printing these little guys here. Now, if you're not familiar with these are for multi-board. More importantly, if you take a multi-bin, like this, you'll see it has rails on the sides. So you just simply unfold this by peeling it. So it's out like this now. And then this just snaps in like this. Oh, hold on a second, I gotta actually align it. It's difficult to do blind. There we go. And that's it. And now that's locked in. That's not coming out at all. So if I grab another multi-bin, so you can see here, they lock together. And you can't really pull them apart. That is, they are essentially bonded together. But yeah, they slide apart. And that was printed on Prusa Wire. Now, this one wasn't perfect. There was a defect, but it actually is still functional, so I'm going to keep it. And to pop these out, you just kind of get something a little sharp. You go underneath, and just like that. Pops right out. Super simple. So it's printing a bunch of those in this orientation here. Like that. And it's notable because, so I did, if we look at, I go to, let's see here. Yep. If we look at this, that is not what I want you to look at. Move over. There we are. Okay. So if we look at this, this is a test model I did on the Prusa Wire before I made some changes to the hardware. And anyone that looks at this will be like, that's a good model. That looks great. And I would agree. However, you can notice, if I turn slowly, some VFAs. Now, these were very, very real. Let's see. Can I make them more? Yeah, you could feel those. Like, those are some pretty aggressive VFAs. I did a VFA test and discovered that that was exclusively the Y-axis causing that. The X-axis wasn't having any major VFAs, it was just the Y-axis. So I was wondering what was going on there. And as it turns out, the Y idler is not exactly the most sturdy thing. It's a little thin in the original design. Now, we beefed it up in a small update to Beta 2, which I believe is currently downloadable from GitHub, the update piece. I'm not sure. I didn't test that one, though. Our community member made an even thicker one for the Y idler in the front. And I installed that, and it immediately worked. The VFAs were gone. So yay! VFA solved! At least for my machine. I'm also evaluating using toothed idlers and a few other things, but I think right now I am very happy with not only the quality the Prusa Wire is able to output, but relatively its speeds as well. I'm not really pushing it too hard right now. This is relatively mild. I could push it to go faster, but right now it is printing PTG. Hey, Sean, what's up? But, oh, sorry, I forgot to say hi to everybody. TJL, Da Vinci, Moonhowler, Robot Overlord, Down Under Maker, the networking guy, Mad Owl, Petty Ruxpin. Safe. Who else? I think that's it. Enchantment, welcome. Yeah. Probably gonna incorporate that change into B1.5. Yeah, I think that solves a lot of the problems. And it supports the screw from the top and bottom. So it's not just cantilevering the idler screw. And I think that having 2 constraints on the screw is enough to structurally stabilize that idler. Because if you just have one... if you just have one heat set insert or one nut holding in that idler, it's just one constraint. And with one constraint, it can wiggle back and forth, which would cause VFAs. But by having 2 nuts, one at the top, one at the bottom, you have 2 constraints immediately in the design. That is not just the plastic. And it looks like that has solved the issues, along with an appropriate belt tensioning. I will be measuring my belt tension, and I will be posting that once I have a tool to do so. I have a tool, I just have to bring it in to do it. So I'll get the actual specific numbers for everybody. Yeah, B1.25 is the square nut fix, and it'll be up on... Safe, do you know versioning numbers? Because 1.25 is greater than 1.5 when it comes to versions. It's not like the metric system. it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not like... Yeah. Yeah, bud. Oh. Yeah, 1.2.5, I guess, is more appropriate, yes. So far, yeah, oh, whoa. I just realized we are almost out of PTG on this. I don't have a runout sensor on this toolhead yet. Do I have PTG in a... Oh, hold on. We have a small problem. I don't have PTG in a 1 kilogram spool currently. And I don't have a 2 kilo... Wait, I do have a 2. I'm stealing Draugur's 2 kilogram spool holder because I don't currently have a 2 kilogram spool holder. See, one of my favorite versioning... So, okay. Standard versioning of, like, 1 point whatever, it's a great system. I like that system for projects that get updates very often. For updates that I only... for things I only update, like, once a month to once a year or twice a year, the versioning I like to use is actually year, month, day. Because that... It's so easy to know how old the update is if you go year, month, day. You know, oh, version 25.12.1. Okay, December 1st, 2025. It makes sense, but that versioning doesn't work for something like, you know, 3D printers. So, what's up, John? Welcome. Anyway. It's unloading filament, so we're gonna take the 2 kilogram spool holder, transfer it over to Prusa wire. I'm gonna have to find... So there's already a void in this tool head for a ball bearing and a filament and a end stop. So there already is space for a filament runout sensor, but I don't know if I want to go with that approach. I'm thinking I want to use like one of those filament runout sensors that can detect snags and stuff like that. I don't know. I want a runout sensor in the tool head, so I think we're gonna figure out how to get that to work. I'm sure I have the parts for it somewhere. Like, I'm sure somewhere I have parts to be able to make that. The only thing is the filament runout sensor that it's designed to use is it's a simple ball bearing that presses a end stop, and I'm not a fan of that. I much prefer the way that Prusa does it, which is a magnet attracting a there's a magnet that attracts a the magnet attracts a ball bearing and it closes a stopgap. When filament breaks that, it pushes a flag into an IR sensor, and because it's an analog sensor, it's able to actually like measure the movement of filament a bit. It's a very smart way to do it, and I like that a lot better because I don't know, it just feels tested. I don't know. I'll experiment with some runout sensors and see what it is I decide on. But the mini that's right next to is right next to the core one I want to run a test on. This test is going to take 44 minutes. Let's set this to 20% infill and everything. 3D honeycomb. Okay, that takes it up to an hour. But hey, that's only 10 minutes longer than it was about to be. Alright, set to connect. Oh, you're Fermi, right. Pulsa's on the bench behind me. Naming schemes of printers. I also tried to adjust exposure levels on the cameras. I tried to fix some of the exposure problems that we have, but it doesn't look like it worked fully. I mean, I definitely tell you that the camera looks orange. It's a little too orange, though. It's a bit paler in person. We're working on it. So, today is prep for Printopia. And, I have a problem. So, let's take the camera away. Let's go to large nomad. Oh, no, hold on. Wrong one. Okay. So, I ordered 1,000 stickers for Printopia. And I am severely disappointed in the company I went with. I decided to go with a different company because it was cheaper. I normally get it from Sticker Bomb, and I love Sticker Bomb. I decided not to use Sticker Bomb this time, and I regret my choice immensely. So, I wanted to get a lot of sticker space for the Positron logo. So I got square stickers. And that's how it came out. Now, it looks good, right? It looks good. That's a sticker. My problem is it's not transparent. So it's just, that's it. I don't really want the Positron sticker to like encroach on other stickers. I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, cutting all of these stickers would take so much time. But I would like to make this more form-fitting, more of a die-cut sticker, and actually like fit the shape a bit more, so it's more form-fitting. Because honestly, this feels like a cheap sticker. The biggest problem was I didn't have enough time to order samples to really determine whether or not the sticker was a good choice. And I regret it. On top of that, I didn't get my other stickers. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of the sticker. We're gonna give it out because, you know, I paid $100 for them. But yeah, I'm not very happy with this company. I don't even see my the other stickers I ordered, which is weird that they're on the same order. Why aren't they in the same box? Gotta get this ready. All right. Cake Z makes, what's up? Welcome. Clownhammer, how's it going? And Critter, I'm not sure if I said hi. Hello. Whole purpose of collecting stickers. Yeah, I already read that. I'm not a fan of like stickers that obscure. Like, okay. Let me show you my sticker bomb laptop. Hold on, what's up? I am no stranger to sticker bombing. This was really fun to sticker bomb. But my thing is that I like the stickers to be a collage. And I don't like stickers that take up more space than what is required of them. So, let's see. I don't really have many examples on here because all these stickers, for the most part, do only take up the space that they need to take up. So there's very little margins on these stickers. A die cut would have been a lot more, but I should have gone for it. I thought at the very least these stickers would be transparent. So, you know, clear front, transparent background, but that's not what happened. But yeah. So I'm gonna revisit the stickers. Sadly, this is all we have for Printopia, and that's relatively fine. Also, I can't believe this laptop's still functional. One of my animals, had a little bit of, throw up, and, my laptop was like this on the floor where it happened, and by the time I saw it, this was melted slightly. So the entire side of my laptop was slightly melted. Stomach acid, guys! It's a great thing. This laptop's getting old though, so its life is not it's not meant for this world for much longer. I might install Linux on it. The problem with installing Linux on it is that it is also a drawing tablet with pressure sensitivity, and I know Linux doesn't have a great track record with that stuff, especially proprietary ones that are built into the screen. What's up, Moji? How's it going? Swung in so that I can at Nomad's Galaxy call. Hadron. My dyslexia is having a wonderful day today. Gotta love the dyslexia, man. It is aggressive. All right, we're taking the hat off for a bit. Okay. I'm very carefully monitoring the printer. Oh, what the hell happened? What happened, Parsec? So for those that don't know, the way and I'm gonna change this now that my actual computer setup can handle things. But how I've been running my stream ingest is that my Mac Mini has been actually ingesting video from my high-res cameras, because it's able to do that without much fuss. And then my let's see. Yep, there we go. And then my computer just inputs the capture card from the Mac. And that's how I've been doing my streams for a while. And it's been working out really well, but now that my computer is an upgraded CPU, I should be able to ingest those videos myself without problem. Okay, so we got the Mini running. You know what's really cool with this? First off, one second. Hello. Another microphone has entered chat. Nomad, fix printables. I can't fix printables. Okay. So the really cool thing with this setup, I can't believe I'm still talking to that microphone. The really cool thing with this setup is that what you're looking at right here is actually on a cart. So if I wanted to show you guys another printer, I can just do that. And bam, now the Mini's in view. So what that's on is actually, it's a mobile mess, yes. Right now it's a mobile mess, but we're working on fixing that. So let's see, can I zoom out on this camera? No, it is as zoomed out as it'll get. So, let's see. Okay, it's not, there's a cable in the way and it doesn't want to run over the cable. One second. So this is the toolbox. We built this a while ago, but we've been very slowly working on it. So this is all new. All of this right here. This is very new. This wasn't here essentially yesterday morning. What we're doing is we're adding multi-board to the underside. Now, if you guys recall, we did this to the main desk. The main desk has multi-board underneath it as well. But honestly, I haven't used the underdesk multi-board for what we've meant to use it for. And that's because I've learned a lot more about multi-boards since starting. Now, I can't take the tabletop off right now, even though it's not attached at all. But yeah, I can't take this off right now to actually show you what's under here. And that is getting pretty close to being done in terms of its run out. One second, let's do this. Yeah, so that's getting pretty close to the run out. We're gonna let it go for just another minute before we send a tune control. How do I swap? Okay, so I have to do it from here. Okay. We might as well do it now. So let's hit pause. All right, now filament, unload fast. Do that twice. Okay, that's as much as we had left. Now let's get some Prusement PTG on here. That was Jesse, Mystery Orange. Now, I've spoken a lot about Jesse, Mystery Orange. If you ever need a Prusament orange that is really cheap, that it looks exactly like, you know, Just look at that. It's the same color. So let's go ahead and get this in here. Where are... Okay, that purged. There we go. And now resume. And let's see if that works out nicely. That worked out great. Wonderful. Question is, does it have enough strength to actually pull a 2 kilogram? Yes, it does. It has enough strength to pull a 2 kilogram. Wonderful. Very happy to see that working. Also, you may notice the Konomi's working too. We got the Konomi working, guys. Look at that. Nomad got the Konomi working. Isn't that a miracle? Where's... Oh, there's Track. So let's go over why the Konomi wasn't working, because I did a stupid. So for those that were watching, or that were in the Discords while I was experimenting with the Prusa wire, they will recall that the Konomi kept turning on and off, on and off, on and off. And I realized the only time the Konomi actually turned on was when the fans were at full speed. Now, if you recall, what we had originally done when we soldered the wires, we soldered the positive terminal to the positive on LED, and then negative, or ground, to the negative on the part cooling fan. The idea being that, you know, you would get the positive from the idea being that the circuit will be created between those. That's not how it worked. Because guess what I forgot? I forgot that technically, in a lot of cases, yes, negative can be put to ground, and that's typically fine in a DC system. But electricity actually runs from negative to positive. So it only actually turned on when the fan turned on. So it was completely non-functional. Because the circuit was only being made when the fan actually turned on. So I undid the wire that went to the negative terminal, and I moved it to the actual LED in the middle here. And I soldered negative to negative, so that now on the Prusa wire, the Konomi actually stays on. It's currently not working because I have to reboot the system. That's a Wi-Fi network issue. I don't know why my Wi-Fi behaves like that. Which reminds me, we need to figure out Wi-Fi for... mobile router. Let's see, what do we got available to us here? These GL nets are exactly what I want. I just need a cheap one though, I don't need anything fancy. Travel routers. That's $86. That's $35. That's it. That's it. That's what I need. Yep. And look at that. It has 2 LAN ports. Perfect. I can overnight it. Wonderful. Okay, now we have a router for the show that I almost forgot to get. Oh boy. That would have been fun, not having a router at Printopia. I have one already. I just don't know where the hell it is. No man needs to work on his hardware hacking skills. What? Yeah, I mean that's not wrong. Another thing I've been working on is, or not working. I've been playing Borderlands. Yo, Borderlands is fun. The new one. I played Borderlands 1, didn't finish it, didn't captivate me as much as I would have liked it to. Borderlands 2, creme de la creme, so good. I forgot the other Borderlands games that came out between 2 and 3. I know there's a few side games. The Telltale one was good, but like. I never played the prequel to Borderlands 2. I probably should do that. I've heard it was good. I should do that. Hey, Sus, what's up? And then Borderlands 3 came out, and I didn't like it. I did not like Borderlands 3. I think they stretched themselves out a bit, way too thin on Borderlands 3. Like, the gunplay was solid. And the new abilities and whatnot were pretty good. Oh yeah, Tiny Tina was good too. But I only remember playing the DLC, which was fun. I never played the full game, Tiny Tina's Badass Adventure. I guess I have to try that. Admittedly, I didn't play it because I was burnt out from Borderlands 3, and I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't there. Yeah, 3, gameplay was alright, but the world was too big. It was way too big. It felt more like I was playing Halo Infinite in terms of, like, yeah, sure, it's open. No, Halo Infinite would be a very wrong comparison. It felt more like I was playing a weird open world version of Halo earlier editions, where like all the levels were linear. Like yeah, sure, they were open world, but they were linear. Let's be real. You went from one planet to another, and there was really no reason to go back to older planets. Like once you finished a planet, that was it. You really never had to go back to that planet ever again. There was no reason. In Borderlands 2, there's plenty of reasons to go back to older areas of the game. And, you know, just explore and get familiar with the world. So far at Borderlands 4, I feel like that's what they're doing. They went back to a one-planet system, from what I can tell. And it feels like you actually get to explore the world and get familiar with the world, rather than be shoehorned into this larger galaxy that it's more difficult to understand. It's similar to Starfield. Starfield is a decent game. I played it early. I haven't picked it up since, because there was a lot of base automation that was missing that I just was like, yo, you guys have had this base automation shit in Fallout, like, where is it? Essentially, I was trying to just, like, have it automate the sale of stuff while I was gone so I could just have an income, and it wasn't doing it. Anyway, the problem with Starfield is that there's so many planets, and you only get to really explore a city on the planet. And you didn't really get to do anything else. You were like, yeah, here's a city. That's it. And it was so weird, because with Fallout, with Skyrim, with all these other RPGs, you get to explore a world and get familiar with that world. And this is how I like to describe it. When you are in an area, you learn the area, you understand, oh, I need to go see so-and-so. I know how to get there from this location. And sometimes you're like, oh, there's a fork in the road. Let me take the left in this fork. Let me try this different path. Let me explore this area and become more familiar with it. When you're dealing with a game like Borderlands 3 or Starfield, once you go to a new planet, that is reset. You're not familiar with the landscape. There's no connection between A and B, because you're forced to go, you know, rather than being able to walk from A to B, you warp to the ship, fast travel, warp back down, and then that's it. Like, all paths from A to B force you through that one area. Whereas something like Fallout or Skyrim, A and B are in the same world. So you can go this way to A, this way to A, and like you could go so many different ways. It is the freedom of exploration in the video game that makes it really fun. And once you become familiar with like, oh, I need to do a quest where I need to pick up this item. I know that this item spawns in this location. How do I get there from where I currently am? If you don't want to fast travel, you can actually learn the path and learn what's along the path, and oh, I can pick this up on the way. It's very much like real life, where you live in a town, you learn the town, you learn where that is. Great example. Today I had to top off my tires because I was low tire pressure, and I had to go to a Wawa. Well, all right. In my mind, I'm like, well, I already, without even looking at the map, I knew exactly which Wawa locations I could go to in order to fill up my tire. And if I saw that there was a lot of people waiting for one tire air thing, I could just go to the next Wawa. Because I know the area, because I live here. And that is just, me auto-pathing in my head. Because I've explored what's in the local area. I know what is local to me. If you put me down in, where 3D Printopia is, I don't know what's going on there. But I still traveled to get there so I could, find my way back. Wawa's so good. I love Wawa. I love Wawa. Anyway. So that's why I didn't like Borderlands 3. Not to mention, Wawa is not just a gas station critter. Think Buc-ee's without the absolute corporate dread. And by corporate dread, I mean the TJ Maxx that's stapled to the side of Buc-ee's. Wawa is better because it doesn't shove capitalism down your throat. Look, I can get pulled pork from Buc-ee's. I can also get pulled pork from Wawa. And when I'm getting pulled pork from Wawa, they're not shoving down 5,000 different Wawa branded merchandise items down my throat. It's just like, at Wawa on the side, yeah, here's a giant mug. You want it? You can grab it. I'm not being fed Wawa onesies, Wawa pillows, Wawa blanket sheets, friggin' a Wawa comforter set. No, I'm not. I don't need a Wawa comforter set. Oh my God. When I went down to Texas and my friend was like, dude, you have to see Buc-ee's. This is an experience. I walked in and in the back of my head, you could have heard the blaring noise of the communist anthem as I just saw capitalism at its peak. And I was just like, oh dear God, we are fucked. Flashbacks to By and Large from all the Disney Pixar movies. Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's my Wawa's better tangent for the day. I didn't like Borderlands 3 because it was so disjointed and the story was insufferable. I was never into streamer culture. Hey, what am I doing right now? I'm a streamer. Oh boy. Self-fulfilling prophecy. I was never into streaming culture. And oh my God, did Borderlands 3 shove streaming culture or a perceived streaming culture down people's throat? It was not subtle at all. Mind you, Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 4, their main antagonists are also not subtle, but they're not subtle in a bombastic way, not in an annoying, privileged way. Because that's what Borderlands 3 antagonists came off as. They came off as snooty 2D streamer, like privileged child streamer. Whereas Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 antagonists came off as, I think I'm better than you, and I'm gonna do everything I can to prove that I'm better than you. When in fact I'm as fallible as yourself. Like Handsome Jack. Absolutely rubs shit in your face the entire game. But he is just as flawed as the character you're playing and as everyone around you on the planet. He makes himself think he is better than everybody, but he is the same as everyone else. There is a human characteristic to that, whereas the ones in Borderlands 3 were just like, we're gonna be gods and you should just worship us. And it was insufferable because there was no redeeming qualities, there was no humanization. They were just stereotypes, and there wasn't really much depth to the character. You can try and argue that there was depth, but I couldn't stand the characters long enough to ever find them, and I never beat the game as a result. I did not have fun playing the game. I am only like 10% into Borderlands 4. I just got the first like base where you get your first bank. I'm not far in that game. I am loving the antagonist because it is very much taking the, yeah, here is like a quote-unquote immortal being, but you know he's just a human that has abused something. And so because of that, because you're fighting something that's already established, it is so satisfying when inevitably you take it down. I'm very much liking the Borderlands 4 antagonists so far. It is still early, so I can't say for certain if I will continue to like them. But yeah, I'm waiting for Borderlands 4 to go on sale. Yes, wait for it to go on sale. I got it for free. I have a family set up on Steam, so my brother bought the game, and since my brother bought the game, I now have the game, and the only downside being we can't play at the same time. That's fine, I don't really play games with my brother. But I get to play Borderlands 4 with all the DLC. So, which, a game that just released having 5 DLC is concerning. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I didn't pay a penny, so yay. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but you know me and what I stand for, so which, oh my god, I got home today. Now I'm not going to mention specifics because I don't like to get political, but I very much believe in, you know, the ideology that we need to move to renewable resources. I don't think that's a controversial opinion. What just happened? I don't think that's a controversial opinion. What happened? Error. Nighthawk lost connection. Well, that's a first. My dad was just watching a debate, and I was just like, what this guy is saying isn't good. I'm rebooting it. I think there was just a small power blip. Everything is connected still. Shame, these were actually coming out really nicely. But I'll be able to show you guys, hot, that's hot. I'll be able to show you some of the macros I wrote. Anyway. Oh, because they're, oh, dude, really? Because their computer's not good enough? Okay, hold on, real quick. Yeah, that's shitty, but I do have to give the developers major kudos. My computer's not new. I barely meet minimum spec. I have a newer CPU. I have a brand new CPU, a Ryzen 9900X or something like that. So I have a new CPU, but that's only because my i9 9900K crapped itself. So I have a new CPU with new amount of RAM, and but my GPU is still a 2070 Super. Not the latest card, and I think it's actually minimum spec. The game is running really well. Mind you, I waited a week before I played it to get away from all of the bugs that were happening. But I am shocked at how well Borderlands is running on my computer. Truly shocked. It is amazing. Like, I'm actually getting somewhat of like 40 to 60 frames per second on an ultra wide monitor. So, you know, for like an 8K resolution almost. And yeah, on a 2070 Super, I'm getting great frames. I was expecting it to be a stuttering mess that I would have to play on the cloud, but no, I can actually play it locally on my computer. It feels nice. But yeah, that's not cool. Yeah, I mean, it probably is that stuff helping, but the fact that it's helping is, I'm happy about it. I don't really care about, like, the AI frames. B 1.25 has been released. How did you release it? Oh, I see. Safe. We should probably only be sticking to GitHub for future updates. You can post it on printables, it's fine, but it's much easier to maintain at GitHub. So we are working on moving Printopia to GitHub. It's just taking us a bit because we have Printopia and we've obviously been trying to get this stuff to work. But I will make an announcement post about that. So, all right. Yeah, Clippy shutdown. That was a shame. I don't know exactly what caused that. All right. So I have it homing in the middle of the bed because that's the most rigid point. Not necessarily the best place to home. I'm working on making this. No, my nozzle's not tilted. It's just the camera FOV. Essentially, you're only seeing like a small section of the camera because this camera is in portrait mode currently, but it's a landscape camera, so it's tilted 90 degrees. It's weird. Essentially, rather than use the whole 1080 frame, which is this, we're using this much. So that's why it's also a little blurry. I might make a new mount so that I can actually use it horizontally. Okay. I kind of wanted to work on some. Let me show you the. G code I wrote for this. So I wrote G code to actually do a nozzle clean. So watch this. Oh, what the? That did not copy. Alright, so first it heats up to 175 before it does what it's about to do right here. I tried making a Winky Joe to put on the Konami. I don't have enough time, and I don't have enough skills and animation to do it. Alright, so real quick, it homes itself, and then it goes over there to kind of scrub the nozzle on the edge of the bed. I am getting a nozzle scrubber that I'll be putting in that spot. But yeah. So it does that. The reason it... Oh, did I? Did I tell you to? Oh, yeah, whoops. I told it to do bed mesh. So, the G code I have right now, it runs every print start, and it heats up the bed, so it heats it up to the temperature that you're going to be printing at. It then heats up the
nozzle to 175, it does that nozzle cleaning routine. It homes itself, does the nozzle cleaning routine. That's just to make sure you're as close to the bed as possible, and it actually gets rid of the filament. Essentially, what I have it do is, if there's a little bit of filament on there, it gets 0 is where the filament is on the nozzle. Then it moves over to the edge of the bed. It goes below Z, so it goes Z negative 0.5, and then it just quickly goes back and forth, kind of in a slanted motion. So the whole hope is that it goes up and down 0.5 mil to just scrape off any plastic on the nozzle. Then once that nozzle is clean, it rehomes, so that once it does the bed mesh here, it's an almost perfect first layer every time. Kenneth, what's up? Welcome. The next thing I need to work on is making it quieter, because it is not a quiet printer. The steppers are kind of loud. I wonder if you can... Hold on. Let me see if you guys can hear it. Can you hear that? Yeah, it's not necessarily quiet. I think that's we have to adjust some settings in the Clipper config, because I don't think the current Clipper config is 100% set up for. I think it's functional with these motors, but I think a couple settings could be improved to reduce the noise. Just gotta do some research, really. The other game I've been playing, as you all probably know, is Silk Song. Oh my god, it's so good. Now go against the grain, make a louder, put CPAP on it, make the steppers louder, and speaker for the lulls. I'm tempted. Maybe we should turn it into a true flying gantry. Just put drone motors on the side of it. Just like that one flying gantry, Core XYZ. Or Core XZ. Core XY. I just named every single Kingdom Max system except for the one that it actually was. Mr. ES subs, nice. I guess what we can do is work on some G-code commands. Trying to think. So it does. So okay. So one thing I want to do, adaptive mesh is not working. So it's supposed to do adaptive mesh, so it's only meant to probe the small area where the print is. It is not working, and I don't know why. Let me look at Easy Probe here. Let's set adaptive margin to 0. Is there any other... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a Clipper bug. I wonder if Camp would fix it. I don't really want to install Camp because that's just adaptive mesh on top of adaptive mesh. And I feel like it would cause bugs, but I don't know. I do know that I'm very happy with how this is currently presenting itself. Just in general, so far it has been great. I mean, yeah, we can try Camp. I don't want to... Yeah. Alright, so let me... SSH. Yo, dog, I heard you like adaptive mesh, so we put adaptive mesh in your adaptive mesh so you can mesh while you mesh. Right? Okay. Oop. SSH. Alright, there we go. Done. So now let's go to Update Manager. One second. I gotta move it into a different window. I'm okay with the larger mesh, but it's just annoying to run constantly. Okay, I need movementrecord.conf. Drop this at the bottom. Save. Okay. Alright, save and restart. So does the Prusa wire fold down? No, it does not. Yeah, I was up till like 2 a.m. last night working on the multi-board stuff. I am exhausted. Okay. Now, where is... Okay, camp settings not config. So we want adaptive meshing. Smart park. I mean, we could do... Yo! Jake running in here with all 3 of his accounts. How's it going, Jake? Alright, yeah, we did add adaptive line purge. It's not a big deal. Yeah, we'll do that. I won't do the Voron purge, because as cool as the Voron purge is, it's just a possible problem. Okay. So, let's see here. How do I invoke adaptive meshing? Okay, so it's installed. How the hell do I use it now? Now what? Do I just start? Oh. Till Smurf last year, I've never seen a Prusa in person. What? What? Bro, really want to mess around with the Prusa wire? Yeah, do you remember when I mentioned the idea of a Prusa wire in the Discord? In the Millennium Machines Discord? As the April Fool's joke? And I just went full bore on it. Oh, that was great. Okay. Welcome back, Down Under. Alright, so... Let's figure this out. Yeah, you can get plenty of minis on Facebook Marketplace. That's relatively easy. Okay. Okay, update start print macro. Let's see. Ah, so we just do bed mesh calibrate now. Okay. Okay. And now instead of doing that, we just do line purge. I wonder if line purge also... We'll just replace that for now. Okay, let's try this. So I'm going to actually slice a test print here. Alright, so this is an 11-minute print. Let's... Unable to connect to Nighthawk. What? Why did you guys decide going linear for X instead of keeping the rods? Was it just less CAD? So, okay. The reason we went with linear rod is because the original concept for this was that when you upgrade an MK4S to a Core 1, those rods are used in the Core 1, so you don't have them. So we wanted to go down a route where if you decide to go from an MK4S to Core 1 and do the leftovers to Prusa wire, you should have most of the hardware you need in order to actually do this. And so we decided on a linear rail because linear rail is a little bit easier to source. Linear rods are also easy, but a linear rail makes it a lot easier to have just put a switch wire mount. In the end, it gave us less work to do, which I will not argue with. All right. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Let's see if this works. Generic PGT profile. All right, so now you can see it's heating the bed. I can't adjust focus on this. It's just stuck as it is. One of these days I need to actually give some TLC to the camera setups. Have a night, safe. Other than the V0, the switch wire always been my favorite morons. Yeah, I love the switch wire just for like what it is. But yeah, Core XZ is very difficult to tune. It took me a few days to actually get this one tuned in. But now that it is tuned in, it is great. Because here's something interesting that is actually a argument for bed slingers over standard Core XY printers. So one thing that people don't think about too much is the actual stretching of belts. So the longer a run of belt is, the more likely it is going to stretch and cause issues in the print. Now, the larger the printer, the larger this problem is exacerbated. Because the longer the belt, the higher the tension you have to use, and as a result, the belt is going to stretch more over time, especially if it's something in a heated enclosure. What this does, it is minor, but it does cause inaccuracies over time. And with a standard Cartesian, where it's just one motor for X and one belt loop for X, one belt loop for Y, and then whatever you do for Z, because on each axis you have a much shorter belt run, it is actually more accurate. So there is an argument to be made that an MK4S is more accurate than a Core 1 and other Core XY printers. Obviously this can be compensated very easily, it's not that big of a deal, but it is something to think about. So Wire has better Y accuracy than other printers. That is a joke, of course. You're building a Micron, and I've learned to love it. Oh, so I better learn to love it. Yes, yeah, you better learn to love that. Yo, Jake, I'm confirmed for going to Smurf next year. We're going to see the Less Than Jake concert in Manchester. Come join us. And that's also an open invitation, I guess, to anyone that also is going to Smurf. There's a Less Than Jake concert the Thursday, literally, the day before setup day for Smurf. I am going. I know there's a couple other people that are going. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. It's ska. It's just going to be a great time. And the Aquabats are playing as well. Gotta love the Aquabats. A Less Than Me concert, right? Alright, so it's doing the nozzle wipe. And now it's homing again. Okay, now let's see if it does adaptive bed meshing. No. It does not do adaptive bed meshing. Why? Safe already left. So why did it... Why did it do that? Maybe I need to run bed mesh clear before I do it? Let's see. Yeah, so that one didn't do bed mesh clear. Let's see. Yeah. I'll agree with you guys on that. Yeah, so I have enable object processing's on. I believe label objects is set. It says firmware specific, so it should be. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't include camp into the printer config. I am a dunce. I am a dunce. I totally forgot to do that. Oh man, I feel like a dunce. Yeah, yeah, Less Than Jake is really, really fun. What's up, down? Yeah, welcome back down under. Okay. Oh, and hey, the mini finished. Let's see how they did. So, what we printed on the mini here, which this does look pretty good. Does the support? The one thing I don't. The one reason I don't use the my mini for P2G as much as I probably should is supports with a 0.5 nozzle are not fun. They often fuse a bit on the mini. But I want to try it. So we are doing that. Oh yeah, that has kind of fused. That's the one problem with moving to 0.5 nozzle on the Mini. There's no like official supported profile, so you're kind of on your own. Come on. Clipper error. What's the error? Nighthawk config has been shut down. Why? I rebooted you, so it shouldn't be in shutdown mode. Is my Nighthawk giving me problems all of a sudden? That's not good. Struggling with this support removal. Yeah, Jake, I need to get my hands on a Milo. I'm starting to get to the point where I want to do some machining, but I don't have a machine. Like, I want to do some custom metal fab of aluminum blocks and such for various, you know, reasons. Also, you asked me about the positron hot end at some point, and you never explained why you were asking about the positron hot end. I'm still very curious. You don't have to tell me on stream here, but very curious about why you inquired about the positron hot end. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be private. Whoops. Oh man, yeah, these supports are a pain in the ass to remove. I mean, if the print quality is good, then we'll stick to the Mini. But is it really worth this? What's going on? Nighthawk is still in firmware restart, so we're just going to shut down the printer. Give that a minute. And reboot. Oh yeah, how is the missus doing? I am very excited to see that. You're gonna be very excited. We've made a lot of progress on Gluon. And it's gonna be perfect for what you have planned. We're getting rid of a lot of limitations of the current hot end. We're gonna be showing it off at Printopia, so I'll be sure to send you some photos. Okay, this worked, but the support removal on this was a huge pain in the ass. So I'm not entirely sure if that was worth it. Yeah, support removal was annoying enough for me not to want to do that. But I will, anyway. Alright, in fact, yeah, so we're gonna just tell the Mini here to reprint that. Alright. You're now booted up, so let's... I'm very curious as to what was causing that, but let's just print that item and see what happens. Nice. Yeah, I guess a Prusa XL will be a little bit too big for your workspace. Just a tad. Jake, we got to get you to Printopia next year. Because it's gonna be in my hometown. It's gonna be in Philadelphia. We gotta get you down there. Oh yeah, you cannot tag on mobile. I don't know why that feature is not parity. Like that is a weird feature to omit on the mobile app. Alright, slide this whole thing down. So what we're adding here, which you can't see because it's off camera. So this tabletop that I have on here, it's not, this right here, it's not actually secured to the entire workbench. And honestly, I don't want to secure it because it's heavy enough. That's fine. Trying to get budget for one trip to the States next year. Not sure, Remerk, Printopia, or open source. Oh, those are all good options. I mean, I would suggest Printopia because it would be cheaper, and because I can then show you around Philadelphia. So it's a selfish reason. Like I'm planning on giving a bunch of people personal tours of Philadelphia next year because it's going to be the first time Printopia is in Philly. It's also going to be in the Pennsylvania Convention Center, which is a personal favorite. Pennsylvania Convention Center actually used to be Reading Terminal. It used to be a train station. It was converted into the current Expo Center later in its life. But yeah, it was originally built as a train station. And there's so much history to it. I could go on for hours about that, so I won't. Oh, okay, camp looks like it's working. Oh wait, no, it just homed. It wasn't actually meshing. All right, let's see here. Does it do a full bed mesh, or does it just do... Okay, it's homing still. Oh, damn. All right, so that does work. That is so much faster. Now I just need to improve probe accuracy. Okay, camp is staying on here. And yes, Remurf is only a couple weeks after Sanjay Mortimer. So that's a tough one. Oh wow, this... Oof, that's a tight fit for the screw. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So the tabletop's not actually secured to the bottom there, and I am fine with that. Like that's by design. So what this is, there's going to be one on either side. This centers that tabletop to the center. I already have stops on the back side so that I can't push the table back too far. And in conjunction, the idea is that I can just drop... Did it purge? I don't think it purged. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, that worked. Yeah, there's a little poopa purge. Oh wait, no, there's not. It didn't purge. So it didn't prime the nozzle. That's weird. Just let it finish anyway. I will not stop this print. We will evaluate it once it's done. Okay. What's going on? We lost communication with the Nighthawk again. That was a bad first layer. Okay. This is a new problem. Okay. I have plenty of strain relief, so that shouldn't be happening. There should be no strain on the cable. I gotta figure out stream overlays. I'm so jealous of your setup. Dude, this is a stock setup from Streamlabs. It's not really that complicated. I'll be happy to help you. Alright, let's try that again. Okay. Oh yeah, down order. You should totally come. It'll be fun. I'm going actually. I'm flying out a week early. I am going to be going to Prague the weekend prior to Smurf for a few days and taking a tour of Prusa. Very much looking forward to that. Like very excited for that trip. I've been learning Czech, or yeah, trying to. I've been doing Duolingo. I'm on day 62 of Duolingo. Feel pretty good about that streak. It's the longest streak I've ever had in Duolingo. I'm not really learning how to speak it, but I'm learning how to read it, which is pretty good. All right, so that nozzle cleaning does not seem to have worked in the way that I anticipated that it did. That is definitely like it. The adaptive mesh is so much better. Yeah, a UK Colorado turnaround sounds rough. Because that's almost halfway across the world. I feel like OpenSauce would be even worse because that's a 10-hour difference for you. That's, well, not a 10-hour, no, it's close to 10 hours. It's not exactly 10 hours, but it's close. It's a 10-hour difference for Prague. So, you know, when the Prusa guys fly out from Prague to OpenSauce, that's rough. Alright. I just realized I need to shift this back. So let's see, did the part that we print actually work? Is it gonna be centered? Okay, I can't push it any further to the left. That looks centered to me. You guys can't see what I'm seeing, but, yeah. Okay, so that's not purging. And so that's leaving blobs. Okay, have to look into that. The bed level is good. We got a chat. Yeah. We do. I'd love to have you on stream. My problem is I do late streams. Unless it's a weekend. Then I kind of do whatever I want. Yeah, I do streams after work. Because I prefer streaming after work. And I typically do it in time frames that other people don't often stream. So I don't know. I kind of find a niche. And hey, you know what? While I have your attention, guys, real quick, we can't do the crap that we're doing without you guys. If I would like to, of course, do that whole encouragement of we got 26 viewers. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to give the stream a like here. And let's if you wish, we also have memberships. You don't get anything from memberships aside from the small dopamine hit that you are supporting Positron. What is going on? What the fuck? Okay, we have a USB communication problem from what I can tell. Because we're still powered. Because the tool head is still on, we're still powered. But we're losing communication with the Nighthawk. So maybe the USB cable is getting knocked? Alright, while it's still hot, let's crack this open and just pull that out real quick. Move some stuff out of the way. Move the tooth idlers I was testing with. You work on a bar now? Ah. Well, hey. Yeah, we could definitely do a stream together sometime. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help support the stream, if you want to help support Positron, if you want to help support, you know, the crazy shit that we do, be sure to do some super chats. Subscribe. Become a member. All those things. All the support is greatly appreciated. We were watching Killer Print's stream, and he unlocked it, and a bunch of people subscribed to him and did memberships. And I was just sitting there like, I need to remind people, because it is statistically proven that if you remind people that you get the numbers and whatnot. I don't normally try to do that because I don't. YouTube is not my goal. My goal is to make fun printers, but it helps. It does help offset the costs, and I do greatly appreciate it. I hope the bar life is working out nicely for you. All right, we're gonna turn off the printer. Hey, thanks, Jake, for the what's it? How do you say £2? 2 quid? Thanks for the 2 quid. My British is a little rusty. Doctor Who hasn't been on air for a little bit. When I equate my my British slang to whether or not Doctor Who is on air. 2 squids for you. Alright, now let's do this without breaking the printer. I have a feeling that the USB cable underneath is, oh, I gotta be super careful, Is that coming loose, maybe? Okay. Those are pushed back in. So let's grab that back and plug it back in. Where'd the power cable go? Oh, right, I put it here. I'm really wondering why it's not working. I need to find a ball bearing and stop for this extruder. Okay. Let's try this again. The British. Alright, heat up. Oh, I just oh, I did not. Uh-oh. I just sat on the filament. It's fine. Running it dry won't cause that much of a problem. I'd rather run it dry to see if it actually moves and does what it's supposed to do. To be fair, bank account linked to the account solely. Hey, don't worry. I'll make sure to give it back. You know, in the end, we're just giving money to the taxes. It's one thing I love about the community. The community always gives back to each other. I love 3D print community. Like, I mean, this is just me, but I know when Alan got evicted, or not really evicted, but when his landlord didn't renew the lease, and he needed help with the new studio, Positron swooped in, and we weren't big enough to be sponsors, but you know, we're there, and we're making sure that he can continue doing content, and we're continuing to help ensure that, because we want to help support the community as much as the community has helped support us, because that's the right thing to do, in my opinion. And I know, Millennium, Jake, you guys had this situation a little over a year ago, and yeah, I, not trying to toot my own horn, but you know, God forbid something happens, you know, we're always there for you to help out, and I'm proud that we can be able to do that. And Positron would not be able to help out other community teams and community members like this if it wasn't for the support of the community itself. We enjoy giving back. It is the right thing to do. Okay, so the nozzle cleaning thing does kind of work, just not for large pieces of filament. So I need to adapt that. I need to get a little nozzle brush. And I don't know if I want to print a little nozzle brush holder that goes like right on the edge. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. A deployable servo brush. I was thinking about that. Hey Alejandro, what's up? Yeah, this will be the last stream before Printopia. The rest of the week is me fully prepping. Okay, so far it's still functional. I am really concerned now about why the Nighthawk keeps crashing. I have a lot of strain relief on these cables. Maybe I have them over constrained. Yeah, you get the Konomi from Big Tree Tech. All right, so just so everyone knows, I am running it dry right now. There's no filament going intentionally. I want to make sure that the movements aren't causing it to disconnect. Yeah, the Konomi is great. I love it. I wish it was easier to customize. Like, I wish instead of requiring GIFs, you could just put PNGs, but no, you have to put GIFs if you want to customize this. And if you don't know how to animate things, that can be problematic. And I'm not using AI to make GIFs. No way in hell. Alright, I guess the USB cable on the underside just came loose from a lot of vibrations. Which I'm not surprised. Okay. So it's working. Let's go ahead and stop this. Okay, so the other thing that's not working is the line purge. So let's go to camp. Okay. so it's not. I know you can convert static image to GIF, but like, if it's a GIF, you might as well also make it do other things. I'll be experimenting more after Printopia. I just don't have enough time. Huh. Have a good night, robot. So, yeah, line purge doesn't really do much of anything. Okay, so let's do this, reset it, and then select all that, and then oh, it's down here for some reason. Why is it down here? Okay, and then I'm just gonna do line purge at the bottom. Okay, export G code. Okay. And then let's try printing this. Alright, let's see how that works. It is a touchscreen. Yeah, you can do a lot with the Konami 2 is a touchscreen. Konami 1 is not. The Konami 1 was just a screen. But yeah, the Konami 2 is a touchscreen, so you can interact. Like right now, if I touch the screen, I could cancel the print. When it is idle, there's a lot more you can do. When it's idle, you can set the temperatures. You can tell it to level. You can tell it to do a bunch of stuff, and you can even tell it to start a print. Which is a really nice combo considering I have the MK3 screen. So my controls of the printer are a little bit limited. So it's nice that I have an additional screen there that I can use. Yeah, the camera is mirrored. Oops. I'll fix it later. Mellow Halo has more functionality, but they are closed source. Damn. Yeah, I like the open nature of this. It is just an ESP32 with a screen on it, so you could technically write whatever printer you wanted. That's kind of shit. The Mellow Halo. I haven't actually heard of that. It's a Konami. Oh, but it does have a runout sensor built in. But it's just a Konami. It's literally the same screen as Konami. Like, yeah, it's just a Konami. I mean, it's cool. But yeah, it's just a Konami. Like, it looks like the same. I haven't seen the PCB, but it looks like the same PCB as a Konami. I forgot to load filament again, didn't I? Motherfucker! Oh. Well, at least we confirmed that it can start twice, so we're getting some reliability. I totally forgot to put filament. Ah! Okay, well, let me show you some of the functionality of the Konami. So let me disable steppers real quick. Okay. So yeah, you can swipe up and here's all your previous prints that you can just print. If you swipe to the left, you have some stuff like I'm going to use this to actually, you know, let's heat up through the nozzle to 215. Grab the filament. We're going to put that in. All right, that's pushing down and extruding. So now, if I hit extrude, I can go here and adjust these settings. So let's do like 15 mil. I can hit extrude. And I'll pull in 50 at the speed that I set, which is a little too fast for PTG at this temp, because I just set it to 215, which is a little, it is on the cold side for PETG. There we go. Now we're loaded from the touchscreen here. On the right-hand side, you can do homing, ABL, and quad gantry leveling. This is definitely more for a Core XY printer than it is what we're using it for, and swiping down does nothing. But yeah, that's a lot of functionality on the toolhead, which it's really nice to have right here. Like, oh, let me just, you know, do filament loading rather than fiddling with the screen on the bottom. I like that. And if you actually named your files appropriately, you can go in here. I do not know. I have no idea how all those are sorted for the, Wait, what? They broke out the sensor hardware but never released the firmware. Can you spot what is missing? Nomad couldn't. Missing from what? On the Halo or on the Prusa wire? Oh, yeah, filament. Yes. Ah. Let's see, I was actually just rage baiting you guys into screaming that I didn't have filament loaded. It was all part of the plan to increase engagement. You didn't notice either. Yeah. Alright, so I will say I'm happy with... okay, one of the other things that we're going to be doing is... so the table that this is on is also going to act as our new workbench for printers. So right now, it is a home for two printers. It is home for the Prusa Mini and for the Prusa Wire. But I think I'm going to actually put a shelf where my multi-board wall is right now, and actually put these printers on that shelf. I'm gonna have to get a fucking sturdy shelf. But then I can free this bench up for actual workbench stuff. And rather than do what we were doing before, oh, come on. Nope, it did not get it off. Maybe the purge will. Yeah, I need a little. Oh, it got it. It cleaned it. It cleaned it. It did it. Kanomi 2 on box turtle. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, so the nozzle cleaning routine does work. It's just not perfect. That's what it is. Robin, what's up? Robin, I am so happy to say that I can actually recommend the Prusa Wire as a daily driver now. Like, I will be honest, if you had asked me like 3 days ago, or yeah, no, a week ago, if you had asked me a week ago if I could recommend a Prusa Wire as a daily driver, I would have said hell no. But there is a ton of multi-board underneath this table now that you see the printer on, and most of it was printed on a Prusa Wire, and it's all functional. It all snaps together. It all works great. We have to still work on the actual printer profile, because while the prints are coming out accurate and like within tolerance and everything, the surface finish isn't great. It's not fully tuned in, but it's working really well. We're still working on some firmware improvements. Like right now, so it's purging, and now I also told it to do a line purge now that the nozzle is primed. It doesn't look like it's doing that adaptive purge line, which is a shame. Welcome, charmingly Chimera. Yeah, I do love the little face. I was hoping. So, if you ever use Prusa Slicer, you'll know that there's a little clippy. There's a little Joseph Prusa clippy. And I love it because it's clippy. I was never traumatized by clippy. I loved clippy as a kid. And I was working on trying to animate him, barely, like very, very simple animations, to put him on the Kanomi. The problem is that the Prusa Clippy, Joseph Clippy, is not designed for a black background, so it doesn't work on the Kanomi, because I could do a white background on the Kanomi, but it does not work with the color scheme I have. So I had to really edit the SVG that I made of it to actually work. And I'm just like, oh man, it's difficult. Speaking of AMS alikes, have we any updates from BTT on their AMS unit? Not that I'm aware of. Sebas, orange background. I thought about that, but he blends in because Prusa Clippy is orange, so it blends in. It's a difficult solution. It's really hard. But yeah, it looks like I will be saving this config, and I will be publishing. This. Let's actually remove bed mesh clear if we don't want that to be happening. Looking into the Prusa Wire more has made me just want a 2.4. I'll be printing it out in Prusa Orange though. Yo, that sounds dope. 2.4 is great. I built a 2.4. It was the first Voron that I built. I never got it working, personally. But that was my incompetence. It is a very capable printer. Very capable. I'm obviously partial to Switchwire and Prusa Wire because of how easy they are to build. Like, the construction of these printers is very straightforward because the kinematics is relatively simple to assemble. There's not a lot of moving parts. When you go to a Core XY, like a 2.4, it's a little bit more tricky because you have belted Z. I would recommend a Trident. If it's your first kit printer, I would recommend a Trident. Tridents are very easy to build because they use screw rods for Z. Now, here's the downside to a Trident. It does limit you in what you can do. For example, it is very easy to add a tool changer to a 2.4 because it's belted Z. You can very easily extend your Z by just moving the idlers on the top higher up to have a top hat where you can do a tool changer setup. But With a Trident, it is much easier. Oh, Core 1. I wouldn't, okay. I won't, I technically work for a subsidiary of Prusa, or no, I don't. I work for a subsidiary of Prusa. I will say that a Prusa kit build is not equivalent to a Voron kit build. A Prusa kit build will hold your hand so much more than a Voron kit. And the great thing about Prusa is that you don't have to fiddle with the software at all. The firmware is already written for you. When you do Clipper, good luck. Good luck. You have to write the software yourself, almost. I'm not saying you do. There are configs that exist out there that are pre-configured for various setups, but it's going to be different. I would recommend an LDO kit. Do not do anything but an LDO kit. LDO kits are phenomenal in their documentation and in their quality of material. You can actually, if you're in the States, you can use our KB3D affiliate code below to get 5% off on your first Voron kit, as well as any other purchase from KB3D. But, yeah, just, I'm not saying don't do Voron. I love Voron. It is why Positron exists. And it is why the Prusa wire exists. I love Vorons. They are just much more difficult. And I want to make sure that you have that expectation of difficulty before jumping in and dedicating. Because the one problem with so with a Prusa you can return. Oh, Clipper is the easy part for me. The hard part is not trusting myself to causing a fire. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you're familiar with Clipper, and that's going to be the easy part for you. That immediately lowers the barrier of entry significantly. Don't worry too much about causing fires. If you get an LDO kit, all the wires are done. The wiring loom is pre-done for you. Do I have any? Hold on. I have a couple wires from the LDO switchwire kit on my desk here. They're just currently buried. Now, for this build, we did a lot of custom wiring, but like here's an example. This is an LED strip from an LDO switchwire kit. It is not only pre-soldered for you onto the LED strip, but it's also pre-crimped and it's run exactly the length that you need it to be. It is not too long, it's not too short. It's exactly what you need. And the same thing will go for all the power cables involved in the kit. Everything with an LDO kit is already pre-wired for you, so that all you have to do is run it. And you have enough slack to run it appropriately and plug it in where it needs to go. That is what I recommend. I highly recommend you go with an LDO kit. Again, feel free to use our affiliate link below from KB3D in order to get your kit 5% off. Yeah. Yeah, after the Core and Andex. I will be doing a stealth tool changer Voron at some point. I have a Magneto, and I want to use that for the frame of a Voron tool changer. Be that an Index or a stealth changer. I don't know what yet. Oh. Read the errata in the wiki because they've been making mistakes. That's not good. Oh, is LDO slipping up? I have to talk to Jason about that. I know this year's been really hard on them. So I'm not surprised to possibly hear that there's been some slip-ups, but they're usually pretty good when it comes to taking care of their stuff. So I'll check in with Jason, just make sure everything's doing all right. But anyway, one of the things that we're going to be doing on the channel at some point is we will be converting a Magneto X into a tool changer, because it is a massive build volume, and that thing having a tool changer would be beautiful. Beautiful. I just have to actually rebuild it because it's very broken right now. but the difficult part is that it's 100 pounds. So getting it into this room is not easy. I actually need help lifting it. So before I even think about doing anything, I need to get a dolly to bring it in here. And I need to finish this workbench so that it could actually support it. Moonhowler, Prusa looking great. Last time I saw it, it was in pieces. Yeah. It's doing good. Has been phenomenal, but the Casa kits they sent the Millennium community wasn't. Oh no. That's disappointing. Let's talk for a second. Let's get real for a second. So it is reasonable to understand that any company, nobody's immune from this. Any company that exists out there, Positron included, will have fluctuations in quality over time. That is a guarantee. Every company goes through it. Apple, Google, Samsung, every company goes through it, where they just, for one reason or another, the quality of the product dips. Now, that could be just, a little dip, just a little dip. Like with when Google moved over to their Tensor chips, there was a dip in quality because, it wasn't really worked out well. Apple, when they change things up, there's a dip in quality a bit. And usually they work it out. They come back from the dip in quality. It sounds like LDO may be experiencing a dip, from what I'm hearing. Now, I understand some stuff in the back end. There's a lot of stress on LDO right now. The tariffs that happened this year and some other things really, really hurt LDO. And it's no fault of their own. Let me be very clear. The trouble that they're experiencing is purely just market issues. Not only are they facing challenges from Bamboo, Prusa, and also they are having issues with, like the Centauri Carbon being as cheap as it is. They are experiencing competition in a way that they haven't experienced before. And LDO is in that very unique position as a company. Their main market is making motors. It's not making printer kits. Printer kits is the side thing that they do as a way to show off their motors. Like, that's what they do. So the printer kits have not been as profitable, I think, as they have hoped. I could be wrong about that. I could be fully right about that. I don't know. I'm not in Jason's seat right now. But I'm hoping that they bounce back from this. It's been hard for them. I'm hoping that they can bounce back from it. But it's not an easy path. Most of LDO's profit comes from companies like Prusa, like other companies like Formlabs. These large companies that buy their motors for their products. If you don't know, Prusa uses LDO motors in their printers. They also use like the MK3 screen, the Prusa MK3. The MK3 screen is an LDO screen. LDO makes the screen for the Prusa MK3. The heat bed is an LDO heat bed. And same thing for the Core 1. The Core 1 uses an LDO heat bed. The heat beds are made by LDO. So LDO makes most of their money off of making parts for other companies. But the problem is that, and I can't say for certain if this is happening, but you're seeing globally a shift towards self-production. this weird global shift away from international commerce, and there is political undertones to it. There's 100% political influences happening that are causing this. Be that, for example, I'm just gonna put this one out there. Let me first pretense what I'm about to say with the fact that LDO is a phenomenal company. LDO has been not only a massive community advocate for the 3D printing community, but they've also been absolutely wonderful for human rights advocacy. As far as I'm aware, I've not visited LDO's factories, but as far as I'm aware, LDO treats their employees very well. Very well, which is not a common practice in China. But LDO treats their employees very well, from what I understand. Additionally, LDO is very supportive of LGBTQ+. They are very supportive of all those initiatives. They are very supportive of, just everybody in the 3D printing community. They very much believe in helping one another. And that is something you do not see very often out of China. But that is kind of like the underlying problem. They are a Chinese company. As far as I'm aware, I do not believe the Chinese government has any ownership or any... I don't believe it has any particular... Let me backtrack a bit. Bamboo. Part of Bamboo is partially owned by the Chinese government. If you look at the venture capital hedge fund, whatever exactly it is, that owns Bamboo, you will see that that is funded by the Chinese government. Same thing with DJI and all that. It's the same fund. I do not believe and do not know if the Chinese government has any stake in LDO. But if we look at the larger scale of things, it's no secret that I support Ukraine in what is going on in the war. That is a deterrent. Companies are actively seeking sources away from China because China is in part funding the Russian part of the war. That is facts. That is just what is happening. It's not great. But LDO doesn't, as far as I'm aware, doesn't want that. Like, the LDO is just where they are. They are a victim of the situations. They are not a participant. So there's so much of what's going on, and there's so many geopolitical stuff that's getting involved that you see right now. A lot of companies are just moving production back in-house, and despite the cost, I think what's being noticed and what's being understood is that while it has been cheaper to outsource production, like PCBWay, for example, a lot of people, it's cheaper to send their designs over to PCBWay and have PCBWay make their PCBs, at least if you're a small production. I've used PCBWay. We've used Send Cut Send. But in the long run, it is cheaper to invest in the hardware that those companies have, like, to make your own stuff. That's why now Prusa, with the MK4, they make their own PCBs now. They don't get the MK3, or they don't, the INC Rambo. They bought the INC Rambo from a company here in the United States, from what I understand. Now they produce their own buddy boards in-house. Like, they actually make their own PCBs in-house. So they're moving production in-house. That is a known thing. So you're seeing this trend of these larger companies just returning back to being self-sufficient in this regard, which is a good thing. Let me be clear. That is a good thing. It is good when a company invests in that sort of infrastructure because it diversifies the company's ability to do more things. You're not just pigeonholed into a one-trick pony, and God forbid a supply chain collapses. Like, has happened. COVID, as a great example, supply chains completely collapsed during COVID, not only because of COVID, but also because of other things going on during COVID, such as the Suez Canal getting completely blocked up. It is insane how everything up until that point had somewhat been stable. And it took some significant events for a lot of that to come crashing down. Or at least to open people's eyes to what needs to change. So you're seeing a lot of effort being pushed to self-sufficiency. Yeah, supply chain security. Yeah. So it is complicated. I am not formally educated on any of it. I am just an armchair. I'm a dude in a basement, in their parents' basement. I live in my parents' basement. I'm just a guy that knows shit, but doesn't fully know shit. But as a result of all of these things going on, LDO is likely struggling right now. I know that we are going to continue to work with LDO because LDO is still a phenomenal partner to work with, and they're willing to take risks on something as crazy as a positron. No other company is currently willing to really do that. Even though we've proven that we can sell 1,000 positrons in a year, no other company is really willing to do that. So we're very appreciative of Jason and of LDO. Yeah. I hope that was insightful. I hope you learned something from that rant. I don't know if you did. I hope you took something away from it. But the rant is over. Anyway. This came out beautifully. That's fully functional. Yeah, you can see some VFA still on the surface, but that can be solved with Input Shaper. That is an easy solution. It doesn't help that the table that this is on is really, really wobbly. All right, so now that that's working, let's plate up a full thing and actually get that going. I very strongly encourage everybody to try and educate yourselves. Not saying that you're not educated, guys. I believe that you are all brilliant people. But it is always 100% acceptable and encouraged to admit when you don't know something. You'll notice the way I talk. My dad taught me a lot about exactly how you present information. And honestly, they did. They did. My dad really nailed this into my head recently, actually, and I'm glad he did. So one of the things that he taught me was that you should not speak in absolutes, which is phenomenal advice. I don't always follow it, but you'll notice when I talk about things, especially things that I'm not a professional in, I will always say, I believe, or from my understanding, these things. Very important to phrase, especially things that you're not professionally trained in or professionally informed of. Because, of course, when you're talking about these subjects, you are simply providing your opinion, and you are also making sure that it is known that it is an opinion and not a factual statement. And so it's very good practice. I encourage everyone to try and incorporate that sort of language into everyday speak, because it honestly, I'm not going to say it makes you sound more educated, because quite frankly, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't have a degree. But it certainly does help with just communication in general, because it helps disambiguate a lot of things that happen in day-to-day conversation. we all say that, it's rude to make assumptions. If you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you. But assumptions are a core part of human. Centering here. There we go. Assumptions are a core part of human communication. It is literally baked into every single language that exists, that you have to assume parts of the speak that is occurring. One thing that has annoyed me, and let me be very clear, I'm about to say this as someone that personally identifies as agender. I go by they, them, but I also don't give a shit if someone calls me he. I call myself a guy all the time. It's whatever. So there's oftentimes, I was taught as a kid that a neutral third person identifier is they. So if you're talking about someone over there, you can be like, oh yeah, they are doing that. So in conversation, I often will refer to somebody as they. Not necessarily saying that that's what they identify as, but it's that part of me not speaking in absolutes. And I get annoyed when people are like, oh, don't you mean she? It's like, no, I specifically mean this. Because I don't know what they identify as, and I'd rather be a neutral term. Like, I don't know them. Them. I don't know them. Anyway. Little subtle changes to one's vocabulary can really change how sentences are received and how information is digested. And that's a critical thing I learned. And I am proud of, my specific brand of linguistics. Man, I inflection the diction tonight. Jeez, I just took a step back and like, whoa, I'm using big words. Nomad, big words. To the main point, I encourage you guys to learn as much as you can about things that you're not familiar with, because that is, you don't have to be an expert on every subject, but staying informed is really good. And that's why I want to bring you to our sponsor, no. Imagine, that was just a really long ass segue. Imagine. Yeah. Oh man. No, but yeah, I'm not an expert on global economics by any means. I've been kind of thrust into the requirement of knowing global economics because of positron, and understanding how tariffs and stuff like that affect how we can get positrons to people here in the States as well as globally. So I'm not an expert, and I will defer to individuals like Jason from LDO who are way more versed in these specifics than I am. And it's okay. It's okay not to know. It's okay not to know specific things. And honestly, just admitting when you don't know something, in my opinion, makes an individual more respectful and more, what's the word? I'm blanking on the word, but it's like just more appropriate. I don't know. Nomad, going on this absolute kill streak of using the exact correct words for the sentences, flubs it last minute. Command word auto defense straight. And learning advanced vocabulary like as Alejandro did, defenestration, it's fun. When you just throw a word out there that's not commonly used in standard, that is not in the... When you use words that are not commonly used in the current cultural zeitgeist of the linguistic vocabulary of our current social you know, bubble. It's fun. It's stupid fun. Oh, man. I'm excited for this weekend. Vernacular! Thank you! Vernacular! That was the word I was thinking of, but I ended up on fucking cultural zeitgeist. Which zeitgeist isn't necessarily the right word, because zeitgeist is like in the current mindset of a populace. Which technically is the right word, but vernacular is more appropriate. Lexicon works as well. Oh man. I'm having too much fun just being a vocabulary nerd. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. I realize it's 10:50. We have to do a filament giveaway. Shoot. Let me finish this part and then I will get that prepped for you guys. Who here? You know what, we're gonna do this. Da-da-da-da. There you go. Are you going to Printopia? Let's start that poll. Let's see. How much of my audience is going to Printopia this weekend? I know, Robin. I know in another stream you said that you sadly aren't. Good luck with what you have going on. I won't make it public unless you wish to. But good luck with all that. I'm certainly very excited to be showing off the Prusa wire. This weird ass printer. Oh, what happened? No. Okay, so it happened again. Well, if this keeps happening, I'm not sure if we'll have a... Before I dig in, let's get that link out. Okay, so there's the link. Let's figure out what's going on here. Let's actually look at the log file. Clippy log. Crow's nest. No. Moonraker. No. Okay, so let's take Clippy log. And So, as most of you probably know, I'm a staunch. I'm not a fan of AI, but AI, one thing that it's really good at is parsing data in a data set. So if you feed it a data set, it can easily kind of point you to what it is you're looking for. So a great use of AI is to feed it an error log and be like, hey, what is causing the error? Because an error log is going to have a lot of stuff in it. And if you know what you're looking for, you can find it. But using AI to parse through a error log definitely is something I would do. So I just fed the Clippy log to Gemini, and we're going to see what it says about what might be causing this error. I don't think it's the cable. It could be the cable, but the cable is constrained. There's no movement on the cable. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, good luck, Robin. I really hope everything's good. So, okay, Gemini. Yeah, don't forget to feedback when it, yeah. All right, so Gemini has parsed the log, and it does say timeout with MCU Nighthawk. Direct cause, yep, following this, printer correctly enters a shutdown state because it has lost communication. Okay. Resource temporarily unavailable. This error occur when systems trying to write data to a device that's not. Okay. Fan stops before movement. Interesting. All right, Jake. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you have a good night, man. Okay, so let's see here. So we're gonna reboot Clipper, and what we're gonna do is I know exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna run a G-code script that's gonna move the toolhead back and forth a lot, and we're gonna see if it happens. Hopefully we can isolate where the issue is probably occurring. We'll see. All right, so let's go to our dashboard here. First, let's home. Oh my god, that is ruthless. Okay. So we're gonna run test acceleration single axis. So X, we're gonna do 2000 acceleration, 2000 acceleration, 30, 10 iterations. All right, so this is gonna just move the toolhead back and forth a lot. And we'll see if this causes the error. It's strange that this is happening now because it had been running really stable for the past couple days. And this is concerning because we only have a couple days until Printopia, and I need this working. Here's what I'm thinking is happening. I'm thinking the vibrations are causing the USB connection to pop out slightly. Because the USB cable's a little loose underneath. I could probably, if that is the case, I could just get a little bit of hot glue and just put it on the connector, and that will hold it in place. Shrimp Father, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, Mitch is going to Printopia. Mitch lives up here now. Man, if Mitch didn't go to Printopia, I would drag him myself. All right, so we're gonna do. So here is my suspicion. This is what I'm thinking is happening. I think when this printer is doing fast movements on Y, I think it's loosening the USB cable. So we're gonna run this test on X that we're doing right now, and then we're gonna then run it on Y. Yeah, I think the movements on Y are just being a little aggressive and causing it. All right, so that succeeded. Okay, so now let's do axis Y, same speeds. Let's see what happens. The only thing good about adulting is the drinking. See, I don't drink enough to agree with that, but sure. I only have a drink here or there, not very often. It's weird wanting the Nighthawk to lose connection. Like, is it weird? I feel like that's weird. Because if it does, then my suspicion's confirmed. Yeah, that is the reality of debugging. I mean, this bed is kicking. It didn't disconnect on X movement, and it didn't disconnect on Y. I mean, I guess next is Z. So let's see if it's up and down motions. Oh, it only does X or Y. Okay. Well, then let's just try it again, but let's go at 50% speed. It shut off during a diagonal. Yeah. Which is weird. I don't really have any other motion testing G-codes. Have we heard any launch rumors for 3D Printopia? I mean, we're launching something. Positron is. Apparently, we made the news. All 3DP covered us, and I was just sitting here like, wait, we're newsworthy? I'm not used to making news. Yeah, I don't think you hit the resonant frequency of the USB-C port, but that would be funny. I'm starting to think I may have. I'm trying to figure out what it is that caused the error. But I don't know. I mean, we try full control XYZ and tell it that it's just an MK3. Is there any live stream info for the release? No. Just that they'll update the website this week. They probably won't, though. I'm probably gonna do it after the. No, I have to. I have to update the website this week. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's likely what I'm gonna have to do. The Clippy log just said it lost connection. I'm up for hearing about the. Sadly, William, I can almost assure you, you will not hear about that this weekend. As much as I would love to hear about that. Prusa has a track record for announcing cool shit at Form Next, I think. Form Next, I think, is what it is. Sounds about right. Yeah. They did announce the Prusa Mini at 3D Printopia, so I mean, yeah, you could hope. There's always a chance. Trust me, I'm hoping. So we can't be overvolting the board because that hasn't happened before. Yeah, freaking BTT has found their niche though. Voronizing bamboo by as many accessories as possible. Like, gotta give credit to Big Tree Tech. They found a niche, which is identifying some relatively big flaws in bamboo's setup and then subsequently fixing them with accessories. Love it or hate it, it's an effective business strategy. Yeah, they've been pretty cool. I know they've been working on it that I'm aware of, but I'm not sure if they ever released anything. Because I think the community just kind of figured out, oh, you can already just drop in a replacement board and just, you know, rewire the wires and you're good to go. Because it's just steppers and stuff. So replacing the main board is not that difficult. The actual hardware, like, you lose functionality of the stuff that requires custom firmware, but everything else, like the bed leveling, everything else that is seen in other 3D printers works just fine. So interesting. Oh, really? Don't want to do a board? I mean, again, you could just drop in an existing Big Tree Tech board and just redo the wiring and you're good to go. Like, you don't need a board that is explicitly designed for a, like, yeah, existing boards will work. It's not that difficult, in my opinion. Alright, in like 10 minutes we'll do the giveaway. I know it's getting late for me. It is past 11. Just checking up on the notifications. I'm glad to hear the MMU is working. One of the projects we're going to do after Printopia is we're going to be redoing the MMU. Not the actual MMU itself, but we're going to be redoing all of the tubing on the MMU. Because I'm having a pretty significant problem right now where my PTFE runs are too long. I want to put the buffer. You can't see the rep box. So I want to put the buffer underneath the rep box. Shorten all of the PTFE runs, and fix the problems that I'm having with it. Essentially, the PTFE runs are a little too long, and they're causing the filament to twist in the MMU, which is not good. So yeah, we'll see if running this at 50% speed doesn't cause... If this happens at 50% speed, then we have another problem. And I think it could be a software problem. I don't know yet. Yeah, I think it was proper printing that did that. It was amazing. I love that video. That was great. Yeah, I'm thinking that we're just hitting a resonant frequency of the USB cable, because it is a little loose in that Pi. I could probably bend the USB ports a little bit to give it a little bit more clamping power. If it doesn't disconnect while running this print at 50% speed, then we know for a fact it is that we're not hitting a resonant frequency. We have isolated the variable to hopefully a significant degree here, but no promises. Just checking things. Just catching up on messages in the Positron Discord just to make sure. Robin, if you're still here, I just saw your message about how everyone's using their Wagos. For me, I have the bed cables are going straight from the PSU to the INC Rambo, so direct path for bed, because I don't want that sharing power with anything. The hot end, I'm sharing power with the hot end with the Raspberry Pi and with the hot end. So that's how I have it. Yeah. Because the power draw on the Raspberry Pi should be so low that you know what? I haven't done PID tuning yet. I just realized this. I haven't actually PID tuned. Anyway, the power draw on the Pi should be low enough that it doesn't actually impact the NH36. But wow, Robin, that looks phenomenal. I'm gonna send you a link to something I recommend you do. Still not sure if you're still here, but this is a mod that I installed. I'm gonna highly recommend that you do. I'm gonna DM it to you on Discord. There's Eric Build released a thicker Y tensioner that so far has worked really well for helping remove a lot of VFAs that I was having. I have to run Input Shaper again after I installed it, but it really helped. So I highly recommend that. We will be looking at making the Y idler beefier or changing how it's oriented entirely. It's just something we'll get to at some point. The current position allows for maximum use of the electronics bay, so it's kind of a trade-off. We could try and go back to the original Prusa layout, but then you essentially get rid of the ability to use that space for electronics, which isn't really nice, because it's actually a good electronics bay. It's almost as if it was designed for it, but it wasn't. We have, which is definitely definitely leaning towards this being a resonant issue. Now the question is, if I crank this up to 150%, do we go beyond the resonant frequency? That is certainly a question to be had. Considering I am not afraid to waste this filament, because I have a lot of it, we're going to go ahead and crank this up to 150% speed. Looks like we got a blob on the build plate. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Okay, it would actually just be better to cancel that specific object. So third from the right. Mind you, this is PTG, so it's very sticky. So blobs like that are just bound to happen. I also used, I didn't use PCCF, but I used ASA glass fiber for all the structural parts. I think it was worth it. It was not cheap, but it was worth it. Man, I kind of wish I could build a Prusa wire out of PPSCF. That stuff, if you print it right, it sounds like you're tapping metal. It is nuts. Yeah, I think it might be because the Prusa Mini and the Prusa wire are running at the same time. So maybe it's a resonance thing? That's what I'm thinking. Because it hasn't happened yet. And now we're going at 150% speed. So we're pushing it. It can go up to 200% speed, but I want to control the variables. Yeah, I love the tool head. The only downside to this tool head is that I have to I have to set up a Wi-Fi network that's similar to my home Wi-Fi network at Printopia. Otherwise, it won't work. That's fun. Okay, the sword that I'm printing is going good. I had to, we had to reprint the sword that I was making. I'm almost out of time for making that, so I have a few days. Okay, hey, it is 11:20. Let's do a filament giveaway. I can use a LAN port for the printer, but not for the screen. The screen's Wi-Fi only. So the way the Konami works is you power it. So you power it with 5 volts. And then once it's powered, it uses your local Wi-Fi through the ESP on board to actually like connect to the printer itself and display all the information. So it's not directly connected to the printer through a USB cable. It is connected via Wi-Fi. All right. We haven't caused the shutdown yet. Let's, I could use a phone hotspot, but I'm just gonna bring a mobile router. Let's crank this to 200%. I want to see this thing, now that we've been able to get it to print reliably, aside from the fact that the MCU has been disconnecting a couple times during the stream, I want to see this thing go. It has a CHT high flow nozzle. I want to see it rip. I'm gonna lock the wheels on this cart real quick. It's not necessarily gonna help, but it will help to some degree. All right, there we go. Smash that like button in the face. Like a boss! I need to watch some Jacksepticeye sometime. It's been years. It's been since high school. It's been almost 10 years since I've actually sat down and watched Jacksepticeye. He's still making videos, right? I think I've seen him make videos still. Alright, this is handling 200% speeds really well. I think this week I'm gonna try and push the printer profile pretty significantly. We'll see if I can solve this MCU disconnect, which it seems like I may have. It got pretty far in the last print before it happened, so. It's similar to Markiplier, I guess. I mean, yeah, once you get to that point, you know. All right, let's get all these names into a wheel of names, shall we? All right. So live stream screen cap. And then where's Edge? All right. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. We do appreciate it so very much here. Yeah. Happy Monday. Let's see you get some filament. And since I won't be streaming on Friday, we'll give away 3 spools tonight. And our first winner is Kimberly K. Are you here, Kimberly? Are you here, Kimberly? Gotta give them a moment here to actually respond. We'll give them one more minute. Give them one more minute to respond before we draw again. One more minute here. All right, we're going to move on to the second one. If at any point between now and the third drawing that Kimberly responds, then we will honor that first win. But for now, yeah, we'll be drawing again. Yeah, they should be on, but not everyone does. All right, let's do this again. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And let's spin. So let's see who wins the next one. Oh god, that's close. Oh, that's close. All right, hard on. Hadron. Hadron, are you here, buddy? Are you here, Hadron? Oh, Kimberly, no, you're still good. We did not give it away to somebody else yet. So, Kimberly, thank you for checking in. As I said, if you checked in before our third drawing, then you would get it. So you still get it, Kimberly. Congratulations, Hadron, for winning a spool filament. We have one more to do again. And then I will get all of your orders put in. But Kimberly, thank you for checking in. Glad to see that you were actually able to confirm that. All right. Now, real quick. Kimberly, Hadron, and whoever's about to win, just stick with the stream for a little bit after we do the last drawing, because I'm going to put your orders in, and I just want you guys to confirm whether or not you get it. So, bear with me, please. All right, let's see who wins. GTR yelling at you. Nice. Oh, another close one. Trainwrecker, are you here? Some new names. Happy to see new names. Trainwrecker, are you here? Go Birds, Trainwrecker, go Birds! All right, now Trainwrecker, stick around for just a bit while I process these giveaways. But congratulations to Kimberly, congratulations to Hadron, and congratulations to Trainwrecker for winning filament tonight. I forgot the giveaway. Well, someone already put in give to GTR Dad, so it's fine. All right, so let me first do... Oh, I forgot to close the giveaway thing after it was opened. Oops. I forgot to close it. My bad. Let's turn off responsive now. All right, let me let me get these orders processed real quick. All right, Elixir Royal Ruby, that's a good one for Trainwrecker there. Let me just confirm everything. All right, train wrecker, please confirm if you got that. And let me just check something here real quick. All right, and the next winner is Kimberly. These are in order of, I don't know what order these are in, but I'm doing it in order of when you guys actually like submitted. So give me a second to get all this done. Create order. I said create. No problem, train wrecker. Thank you for sticking around for the stream. All right, Kimberly, what did you pick? You picked Soul Black Glitter PLA. That's a good one. I love Soul Black. All right, Kimberly, I need to email you because I don't have your full address. So that's gonna have to wait until you can get that back to me, which is fine. And let me just note that you want Soul Black Glitter PLA. Okay. And then Hadron. Oh, Hadron hasn't ordered from Printed Solid before. Everybody shun. Everybody shun. How dare you? Down under the while that is while it hasn't been an issue, I'm gonna say that if I were to land on any of those, it would just be a respin, because we are trying to keep it to those that are winning, or you know, that technically that could give an unfair advantage to like whoever that is that you picked, you know. Oh, and the music cut out. That definitely means that we should be wrapping up here. Oh no, music didn't cut out. Never mind. I spoke too soon. All right, and Hadron wanted Blood Red. Do we have a Blood Red? Oh, we do. I forgot we had a Blood Red. Yeah. Well, so if you use your Printed Solid email, it helps me pull things up. Because if you've ordered for Printed Solid before, I can just enter your email into Printed Solid, and it just simply, you know, populates all your information, and it makes things easy. And of course, we always highly encourage. It is very kind for Printed Solid to allow us to give away 3 spools a week for a stream as small as ours. So please, 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 please heavily consider using Printed Solid for your filament purchases in the future. It is very cheap, but it is very high quality filament. It's the same quality as Prusament. Seriously, it really is the same quality as Prusament. And we want to make sure that we give back to Printed Solid for all of the kindness that they give to us. So please, if you can, give some love back to Print and Solid for supporting the stream, for allowing us to give away, and all of that. So thank you so very much for everybody. All right, Hadron, you should receive a email confirming the giveaway. I want to try out PCTG. Print Solid is great. Hell yeah. Kimberly said that they created an account, so let me check that. Oh, I just realized I didn't send the email. Oops. Yeah, it doesn't appear to have your info. So I'm gonna send you an email. If you could just respond with your address, Kimberly, then I will. I'll get everything set up in the back end tomorrow at work. But it looks like resonant frequency was absolutely what was causing our issues with the Prusa wire, and it looks like going faster has avoided them. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This was an interesting stream. We changed things up in terms of like how we do the stream. This is the first time I've used the workbench toolbox as a platform for the printers for the stream specifically, and I think this worked out really well. I think this, at least for watching the printer work, this was definitely a lot better than being stuck to the top-down view. So I think we're gonna improve upon it. So yeah, thank you so very much. Is Printed Solid not offering two? No, we don't. We only do 2 kilogram spools of Cruciment. We don't do 2 kilogram spools of Jessie. Not anymore. We used to. I have some literally right there. That's some of our 3 kilogram spools that we used to do. But we now only do 3 kilogram spools if people buy 200 spools or more. So, all right. Anyway, it is almost midnight here on the East Coast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope to see you at 3D Printopia this weekend. I might live stream from the venue. I don't know. If I get some time to, then I definitely will. And I will, RJ, we stopped doing 3 kilogram spools because they weren't selling. Like, what, one company would buy a ton, but it wasn't enough to like maintain stock. We would have stock on the shelves that was like over a year old, and then that filament's not good. So it just, yeah, anyway. I can't wait to see you all there. Oh, real quick. If you go to Printopia, make sure to grab Jessie Elixir positron chips. These are special chips for positron. They use Jessie Elixir, Gold Rush, and natural elixir for the white. And the black is actually is Soul Black, but it's a mixtape Soul Black that is more translucent than normal Soul Black. So these are the new standard for our chips, and I'm excited. The Core, these are also all printed on the Core 1. All of them are printed on the Core 1, not the XL, the Core 1. So very happy with that as a whole. And whoops, sorry for you guys got a preview of the OnlyFans. God, no. All right, thank you all so much for tuning in. I need to go the fuck to sleep. Have a good one. Peace out, guys.